Hello.
I'm Ronit, the Artistic Director of LABA, and this is Gili Getz, the creator and the performer of The Forbidden Conversation. And this is How the Kishke Gets Made, where we talk about creating art inspired by classical Jewish texts. Gili and I know each other for a long time, since 2006, where we worked on a play called Murder by LABA-incubated.
Great Israeli playwright.
And a great play about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, cycles of violence. Easy topics. What are we doing this time?
So we're going to have the Forbidden Conversation. During the Gaza war, I spent pretty much the whole war in Israel. Found myself in a very difficult conversation with my father as Hamas rockets, blow up and the bombardment of Gaza was going on. I came back to the United States and I learned that these difficult conversations happen in many Jewish families, many Jewish communities, and it was a very difficult time here as well. And I was a LABA fellow at the time. We were studying time, the debate over time, and I kind of took that debate in the Talmud and looked at the debate over Israel in the Jewish American community. And I wanted to see, delve deeper into how is that debate happens, both for me personally, coming of age politically, currently in the Jewish American culture, and the future, Jewish youth, and how they process that. I started talking to rabbis, professors, people who study this, Jewish community members who had difficulty with this topic, activists, journalists, and kids who had difficulty with their parents over Israel-Palestine. And that journey at the end was culminating in The Forbidden Conversation that I read for the first time here at the Y during Tikkun Leil Shavuot, which is very
2016?
15. And since then I took it on the road and did it in many different Jewish places, JCCs, Hillels, synagogues, private homes, and having the Forbidden Conversation.
In October, here at the Y, we're going to have 2 weeks of different artworks that deal with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and Israel and the identity. What's changed? I mean, you've been touring it for 3 years. It's coming back here. How's it going?
It actually went pretty well. As an Israeli, I thought that I didn't grow up here, so I thought I'm going to go and it'll go with something like this. We on the left have our set of arguments, people on the right have their set of arguments, and we're going to debate the role of the Jewish American community in the conflict. But that's not at all I found. I found a culture where the most dominant position, the most prevalent position in many, many Jewish communities is we do not talk about Israel. It's too toxic, it's too destructive, and a culture is fairly, to some extent, broken, where people just can't have the conversation because of previous drama, where it wreaked havoc on the community, on the family, and so forth. So just having an open conversation, suggesting we should have a space where people can express where they are on Israel-Palestine and how Israel-Palestine plays out in the Jewish American community, devoting an evening just for that, just to explore where we are, where the community is, not engaging in competition arguments, just exploring where we are emotionally, politically, and being grounded in the well-being of the Jewish American community, being grounded in sincere concern for Israelis and Palestinians, and respecting all points of view, because if the trends will continue, this will get much harder. And the impulse will be not to have this conversation, and for both of us. This is a conversation we cannot not have. We think it's essential.
Can you talk a little bit about what we try to do here, which is through art, through story, open up that conversation just in one line? Why should people come and join us in that conversation? What are they going to see in the Forbidden Conversation that will maybe enable that space?
I think art is a great opportunity to delve into that aspect of the conversation we do not often touch, which is the emotional layer. Everybody has arguments, but we don't often talk about how we feel when we say these arguments, when we hear these arguments, when we come in contact with this topic. Usually you have to defend one side or another, and I found a lot of, especially Jewish youth, avoid being put in that position. So there's very rarely you can deal with your internal emotional conflict, which most people experience around this topic, and art is the best way to tap into that emotional space that is necessary for a healthy culture of divide.
So when should they come to tap in?
Yes, so come in to have the Forbidden Conversation. We're going to be joined by Rabbi Shira Epstein, the executive director of the Y, and Batya, who is the opinion editor at the Forward. She has to deal with all these opinions, and me, and hopefully you, and come and have the Forbidden Conversation on Monday, October 15th, 7:30. And you can get tickets if you go to the 14th Street Y/tickets. Did I get this right? .org/tickets.
And it's a kickoff for 2 weeks of art to create conversation.
With some great other plays you should definitely check out.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, it's great. I can't wait.
Kishke.